Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. Amen. In the name of Allah, entirely merciful, the especially merciful. All praise is due to Allah, Lord of the worlds, the entirely merciful, the especially merciful, sovereign of the day of recompense. It is you we worship and you we ask for help. Guide us to the straight path, the path of those upon whom you have bestowed favor, who, not of those who evoked your anger or of those who are astray. Amen.
The dignitaries on the dais, my colleagues, students from various institutions, I am very happy the PALS has come to help the engineering institutions to improve the employability of the students. I welcome all the dignitaries on the dais. The industries expect certain requirement. Based on that, the employability is assessed. NASSCOM or Aspiring Minds, they have conducted surveys and come out with the statistics that only 25% of the engineering graduates are employable. That too, in rural students, it is only 10%. And the reason they point out is that the students have only theoretical understanding, they do not have the practical knowledge, they do not have the skill sets required to work in MNC companies, so they are unemployable. To address this issue, the engineering institutions all over India or in Tamil Nadu, they approach various organizations to train the students, particularly in the skills. Because the knowledge, see, three important attributes of engineering graduates are knowledge, skills, and the attitude. So the knowledge part, they think that they have taken care by delivering the curriculum designed by the university. And they think that the skill sets are to be improved and they have to employ the outside organizations to train the students. So the standardization, in fact, in world level, in 1989, some of the countries sat together and discussed about the uniform standardization of the programs offered throughout the world. They had an accreditation system. This is called Washington Accord. And some of the dignitaries, signatories of this Washington Accord are US, UK, Russia, Germany, Australia. There are so many countries. So the programs offered in those countries are equivalent to the programs offered by the signatory countries. Now the India has become a full-time signatory of Washington Accord. That means the programs offered in the Indian universities, if they are accredited by the National Board of Accreditation, it is equivalent to the programs offered by any of these countries. So the students doing the programs in our universities can easily migrate to the other universities overseas and then pursue their higher studies or even join undergraduate programs. The major thrust was on outcome-based teaching learning. See, earlier we had a fixed curriculum. We used to deliver this curriculum. We don't bother about what the student has achieved, what the students will be able to do after undergoing his graduation. Now, we have to say what is the outcome expected for any engineering program, even in course we offer to the students, what is the outcome? What the student will be able to do at the end of this course or at the end of the program. For example, mechanical engineering means if you design the outcome as our students will be able to design the subsystems in an automobile, then you must have the curriculum with the design of automotive components like that. Then your teaching learning process should be oriented towards achieving this outcome. So your curriculum, your teaching learning process and your assessment is aligned towards the outcome so that the expected outcome is achieved by the students. The assessment is to test whether the expected outcome is achieved. So now every university has to go in for the outcome-based teaching learning process. Unfortunately, many of the Indian universities now have not gone for outcome-based teaching learning. Now NBA, a National Board of Accreditation, is insisting that we should go for outcome-based teaching learning. Then only the programs offered by these institutions will be accredited by National Board of Accreditation. Then if it is seriously adopted outcome-based teaching learning, the students will not have the employability problem, right? So they will have the required knowledge, skill sets and the attitude expected by the industries. Particularly the industries are very critical that the students are not having good communication skill, good analytical skill, team working skill, leadership skill. These are very much insisted by the industries. Unfortunately, we academicians, now we have to give some extra courses or engage outside agencies to train our own students, even though it should be a part of the teaching learning process to develop the skills also. The industry should also think that the responsibility of the institutions is to impart the knowledge and also to a certain extent the skill sets. They cannot expect that the student should be eligible to be placed in a particular industry, for example, software industry or a hardcore automobile industry. Automobile industry requirement will be different from software industry requirement. As a university academician, we cannot train the students for all kinds of jobs. It is up to the industry to train to the requirement of their industry. They have to give a training program after the graduation, after they select the students and make them eligible to work in their industry. But unfortunately, they think that immediately after graduation, the graduates should come and work in the industries. That is a problem now we are also facing, right? So even though the students have some amount of skill sets and good knowledge, right? Some practical knowledge also we would like to impart by giving them training in the industries and then giving them some project-based learning in the curriculum. We try to impart practical knowledge also. So the students should understand that what are the requirement of the industries and how to become employable, how to improve your employability. I think the PALS has come forward to train the students in this direction. I must thank the office bearers of the PALS, even though I am one of the alumnus of the IIT, and there are some of my colleagues in our university who are alumnus of IIT. We are very happy that PALS has come out to help the engineering graduates in this direction. Thank you very much.
Distinguished dignitaries on the dais, My respected academicians, dear students. First, I would like to thank the PALS Association for giving me an opportunity to speak on the dais. And anytime I begin to speak in front of an audience like you, especially in front of the students, I at least think for about one day before, because you are all quite ahead. Unlike our days, we didn't have internet and Facebook and other things, whereas you guys have exposure to a lot of information. So I actually prepare at least one day before on what is it I'm going to speak to you today. So the topic that I have chosen to share for about 20 minutes or so is knowledge management. And I want to set the context before I sit on the topic. Next slide. You see, we are 46 plus years in business as of today. Our revenue was 3.931 billion US dollars in Q3 FY15. We have about 320,000 people as of today. Right? This is one number which is always inaccurate, because by the time I'm going to finish the lecture in 20 minutes, some more offers would have gone. So this number is never going to be accurate. Our employees are from 120 nationalities and 55 countries where we have our presence. And we have about 150 to 200 delivery centers from where we operate. And 97.4% revenue from repeat customers. Just this is the context, simple context I would like to set to you before I start speaking on the KM. Next slide. We are about 320,000 associates, and average age of a TCS is 29. And this average age is likely to come down because we are taking more and more younger graduates. And about 1/3 are women associates. Like I said, about 8% of our employees are of overseas origin. They are not coming from this country, they belong to different countries. I mean, they are from LATAM, they are from UK, they are from United States, Canada, right? And they may not even have an opportunity to come to Chennai. They may not even know that Ashini is the one who is heading knowledge management, right? And they may not know so and so are the experts and these are the topics. So how do we ensure that what is happening at one side of the company is visible to everybody else instantly? Next. And that talks about, I'm not sure whether how many of you will be able to see this, read this from the back seat. But this talks to you, this tells you about the global network delivery model that we operate. We have centers in India, centers in LATAM countries, centers closer to the customer, centers which are farthest, which are quite away from the customers. Depending upon the business model, we have many centers with different flavors with which we operate. So we call them as global delivery centers, regional delivery centers.